Hello, and welcome to the Live Past Crazy Show. Your host is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with her? Yanmitra appreciates you taking the time out to listen to the podcast, and it is her sincere hope that what we share is something that you can use to help you and someone you know live past crazy.
Can you bring me some water? Good morning, guys. Let's get Facebook started. Good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? You guys are ready to get this day started. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be an amazing day. Hope you enjoyed the show yesterday. Please make sure you share it, because sharing is caring. And remember, if your friends and family do not have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Good morning. Good morning. Don't forget, we have a book club coming up. So if you want to join it, go to bit.ly/Sisters Keepers Book Club, where you can still sign up for that. Good morning, George. How you doing? Good morning. I was talking about you the other day. It was good, though. I was telling somebody, good morning, Kimberly, about your photography business. So I always pass your information along. So hopefully they're giving you a call. All right, guys, let's get to the quote of the day. Where did it go? I had it right here. Well, I thought I did. That's okay. Yeah, you're very welcome, George. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they'll give you a call so that everything will be all right. We're going to go with this quote right here. Even though I was speaking, my voice was silent. And that's my personal quote today. That's my quote today. Even though I was speaking, my voice was silent. How many times have you been speaking, but your voice was silent? It was not heard. And that quote is by yours truly, Jojo. Even though I was speaking, my voice was silent. And it's important to know that when I talk a lot all the time about communicating with yourself and other people, and to know when your voice matters. And sometimes we speak, but our voice is silent. We're not heard. And that can be an absolutely lonely feeling. So let's go right into the thought of the day. So y'all, I have shared, I've always shared my crazy of my life. Meaning, I've always shared the abuse. I've always shared how things came about. And if this is your first time joining the Fearless Morning Show, welcome. We're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? And if you want to know more about why I am the only Live Past Crazy specialist, good morning, Shay. How you doing? If you want to know more about me, you can go to livepastcrazy.com, or you're more than welcome to purchase any of my 3 books over on Amazon. If you simply type in my name, they will come up, and they are still on sale for the holidays, so you can grab it at a decent price. So there's book 1, which is Fearless Woman Born to Give Thanks. Book 2 is Transition Freedom, and book 3 is a compilation of other stories that I did with some other authors, and the name of that is God Says I Am Battle Scar Free. Book 4 will be coming out this year, and the name of it is How to Live Past Crazy. So you have something to look forward to. So by the time you read those 3, you'll be ready for book 4. All right, so I have, for the past 2 years, the intent of the Fearless Morning Show was to help you for me to share information so that you don't have to continue to live in the crazy. So now that I've shared all of that, it's now time for me to share the healing part of the story and the journey to being the only Live Past Crazy specialist, and what that looks like and what healing for real looks like. So 4 things to know on this Be Fearless journey, your growth journey, whatever you want to call it, okay? Please apply this to your job, your relationships, whatever. This is how you know you've grown or you are growing, because I think I don't have a calendar. I need a calendar. Last week we talked about getting better, and that we're not apologizing for getting better. We're not going to apologize because we've been through some things, okay? And we're not going to apologize that we've gotten better past those things. That's not what I'm not going to do. I worked my ass off to get here. I'm not going to apologize for what I went through to get here. So you want me to say I'm sorry for being where I'm at and apologize for what I've been through? You can't do both. That's why you can't complain and pray. It kind of doesn't go hand in hand. So we're not going to complain. We're not going to apologize for getting better. Every day you are getting better, and it is your right to want to be better, to get better, and you deserve that. You have the power to make that happen. As who says that? I'm the master of my abilities. He's a singer. Golly, I forget his name. It'll come to me in a minute. He says you are the master of your abilities, and you can do whatever you want to do. So now we're going to start. I'm going to start sharing my healing story, some real things that's going to help you to get past crazy and getting better, and what getting better looks like every single day. So how do you know it's working? Here's 4 things, and these are on my sticky notes to know that it's working, that you're getting past crazy, or that you're even getting better. Because here's the thing, we got to celebrate the small steps first, okay? Most people, me included, I wanted to skip all the way to the front of the line. I didn't want to do the work. I didn't want to do the work required to get anywhere. I just wanted somebody, to just say, ta-da, here it is. And that's not the case, especially when you're dealing with yourself and other people, because oftentimes you're doing this alone. And so you got to celebrate every win. But this is how you know you're getting better. Number 1, you no longer feel any anxiety or issues with what you used to. You no longer feel drawn to or have any anxiety around a thought, person, place, or thing. That's how you know you're growing or you're getting better. Number 2, it doesn't hold on to you, meaning the thought can come and it can go. It doesn't stay. Number 3, you naturally stop thinking about it. And that's the magical thing. And it ain't even magical, y'all. It's the thing that the more you work on where you want to go, the less you think about what's hindered you from getting to where you want to go. Does that make sense? The more I'm focused, because my destiny's not changing, the more I focus on this end and the less I focus on the other end, naturally you're going to stop thinking about it. You don't stop. And then number 4, you stop responding. You stop responding. So for me, number 4 should have been number 1. Maybe I should have made number 4 number 1. How you know you're getting better, how you know that you're growing on your growth journey, is you don't respond like you normally would respond. You know, when your old man, boo thing, girlfriend call you and you don't have the same response, or somebody makes you angry, or they say something that just a short few months ago would have made you mad and angry, wanted to cuss them out, and you don't respond. That's how you grow. Because here's the thing, in the not responding of the thing, in the not growing of the thing, you don't acknowledge that. Because we talked about your energy bucket, right? You have a mental bucket. Inside of your energy bucket is your mental, your emotional, everything is in there. So when you don't respond to the thing, you don't spend any of your money on it, your mental, your emotional, or your physical on it, it cannot interact with you. Have you ever, your kids been calling your name and you ignore them, and eventually they stop calling your name because you know they don't want nothing? Like mama, daddy. I used to call my mama's name 11 million times. She knew I didn't want nothing, so she ignored me. Perfect example. You stop responding to the thing. You start reacting to it. Because here's the thing. When you're getting better and you're fighting the old you with the new you, and we're doing things different, it's going to remind you that it'll remind you, JoJo, you remember this used to make you so mad back in the day? You remember when that one girl did that and you went off? It will remind you, and it will remind you with the emotions that you had at the time that it happened, and it'll say, this is how you respond to it. But you are doing something better, so you no longer respond to it in the same way. And you will get a different reaction, period. You can't argue with me unless I participate. And that's just, there is no back and forth unless I participate. And in that, number one, you got to check your ego. Number two, do you want to be right? Sometimes we got to let go. I had to let go of wanting to be right first, because I ain't care nothing about what nobody had to say. I was right. And what you were going to do was admit that I was right and say, JoJo, you was right. You was going to do that. I had to let that go. That's ego. And then when I let that go, I stopped responding. And my life became 10,000 times easier and lighter because I stopped responding to the thing. So number 4 should have been number 1. So you know how you go on is you start responding to the things that you used to. You just, it doesn't bother you. And one day you're away. And here's how you do it. So when it comes up against you, something that used to bother you or aggravate the piss out of you, this is how I do it. I look at that and say, you know what? That used to bother, and this is my internal conversation. This used to bother the hell out of me. Now, do I really want to spend my time getting mad, angry, frustrated? Because if I spend all my energy there, it is going to set the rest of my day up to be that way. Now, am I willing to give up the rest of my day to be angry, mad, and frustrated over this one thing? Does it even have, and here's the thing that I realized, it doesn't have the right, it doesn't have the privilege, and I just don't allow it. If it's not meeting the rules to me, it's not allowed. So why would I interact with something like that? Why would I spend my time on it if it's not even allowed in my space? And then it's going to set the rest of my day up for failure. So then I'm mad at my kids, my mama, my sister, my brother. I'm mad at everybody else because of how I responded to one thing. So I do the self-talk. JoJo, do you really want to respond to this stupid lady? And I, because let's be real. Do you really want to respond to this stupid lady and tell her she's stupid and then list all the ways that she's stupid and how, run the list? Because then that's going to set me up for an attitude with everybody for the rest of the day. Because here's what happens. When you participate in it, you will keep reliving it. Because now you got a story of how you went off on somebody. Right, Kim? Some situations I actually refuse to give any. Right, because it will exhaust you. Have you ever got in an argument with somebody and you just tired? You just tired. It's a privilege to have a conversation with me. It's a privilege to have a conversation with you. And when you understand what you bring and the power that you have, how you react change drastically. I don't have to participate with that. You can say whatever you like. I no longer have to prove to you that I'm right. I don't have to do that anymore. That is growth. Number 1, you no longer feel the anxiety of the thing. That's how you know you're growing. The thought process or the situation no longer gives you anxiety. It doesn't hold on to you, meaning you don't interact with it and it's 2 or 3 days later and you're still mad, angry, frustrated over one thing. You naturally stop thinking about it. And I think that's why some of us don't move on. I had to realize that for myself. I didn't want to move on because I was holding on to it, right? And I couldn't stop thinking about the thing. I had the anxiety. I wanted to hold on to it, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I think that's why a lot of us don't move on to new jobs, new relationships. Hell, you can't even move out your house because you become attacked. I'm just so comfortable here. I'm just so used to this neighborhood. I just love it here. but you miserable as hell. But because you are afraid of not holding on to the thing that has defined you, and then you need to look at that on your journey. What in your life is defining you for who you are? Does your job define you? Why? Does this relationship define you? Why? Does this friendship define you? Why? Like, why do you have these relationships with these people, places, or things? What are you giving them, and what are they giving you? The seven things of being a purpose partner. I think I have those listed somewhere on the Fearless Morning Show page, where we did a whole video on purpose partners and what that means and what you're looking for. Being comfortable, being mediocre will keep you right where you are. The instant that you decide that you can think and do and be different is the instant that it begins to happen, not a second sooner. And a lot of us, we can't stop thinking about the thing, and we keep holding on to it. That's why we can't get past hurt. That's why you can't get into a new relationship, because you're still holding on to the old one. That's why you can't have new friends, because you're still holding on to how your old friend hurt you. Or me and a friend talked about this yesterday, how friendships shouldn't be difficult. They shouldn't be hard. Why I gotta fight with you to be your friend? We learned that in kindergarten. Hey, you want to play with my sticks? I want to play with you. You want to play with me? Okay, and we go get on the swings and we play. And it's not difficult. If we have to fight and tug, then is that beneficial for either one of us? And at some point, somebody's got to be the bigger person and say, hey, this ain't working. But some of us are not. We're not going to, because we want to guilty. We want to hold on to, oh, that's my best friend. But, oh, that's my husband. Oh, but that's where I work. Oh, but that's where I live. We want to hold on to it because we like the outcome that we get from it. And so your growth, and then if you put these things in reverse, they are all the things that will stop you from growing. They are all the reasons why you're stuck where you're at. They are all the reasons why things are hard and difficult, and why you can't understand or see your way through. It's simple as that. I don't want to make this journey hard for you. However, if we're going to keep it simple, which it really is, the movements of it is simple. The work of it may be hard, meaning what you have to do, you know what you got to do. It's the doing of the thing that's hard. Feel the fear, do it anyway. Inside of that book, it says it is you thinking about doing the thing that's hard. You actually doing it. It ain't that hard, but you don't work yourself up. But you got to be willing to do the work. So, and in reverse, if you keep responding, you won't grow. If you keep thinking about it, it will always live inside of you. It's always going to hold on to you, and you will always have anxiety around it. Period. Whatever, put that with your fear. That's how I felt about water. That's how I felt about heights and roller coasters. If y'all didn't see the video of me and Lynn riding that roller coaster, I don't know, we got on the little buckets that take you across the park. Listen, the very things that are holding you are the very things that you need to grow past so that you can get to where you want to be. So if you want to be better, you got to be willing to look at those things. And your getting better can simply be having a different conversation with yourself today. It doesn't have to be, and I think we want so bad. We want so bad the woo with the confetti and everything that says, now JoJo, you have changed. Now JoJo, these things are great now. You're no longer holding on to these things. You, my sister, have grown past it. And that's not what's going to happen. It's the small things that you have every day to add up to the big wins. It's those small baby steps that you take that you got to celebrate that's going to help know that you're getting better. And then one day you're going to look up and you've hit all 4 of these. It no longer gives you anxiety. You're no longer responding to it. You're not holding on to it, and you're not thinking about it anymore. And you look around and you're like, man, I thought I would never stop thinking about that. I thought I would never get past that. But you got to do the work of the growth first. Period. But that's how you know it's working. That's how you know it's working. But if you're afraid to do the work, it's going to take the same amount of energy. And I will always tell you guys that it's going to take the same amount of energy to complain that it is to do the work. So the decision ultimately is up to you. And here's the thing. I don't want you to get caught up in saying, I don't have the time to change. I don't have the resources to change. I don't have the money to change. Well, JoJo, my changing will require me to leave it will require me to be somewhere else. It will require me to do all these things. And JoJo, I just don't. I ain't got the money. I ain't got the time. You have the time and you have the money. It's just what is your priority and how you allocate your time and your money. You have to understand, if you work a 9 to 5, by the time you handle your family, right, you do your family thing and you feed and clothe them and you spend time with them, it might be a good 8 o'clock. You have from 8 a.m. to 6 a.m. 8 p.m. to 6 p.m. How many hours is that you have free? Because you're going to watch your favorite TV shows, right? So that's, if you're watching 2, that's a whole hour. But if it's your Tuesday night, Thursday night lineup, it could be 2 hours or 2.5 hours that you could be doing something else. You could be reading that book. You could be having that quiet time. You could be learning how not to respond. You could be thinking, I'm going to get better. You could be changing your... See, this is what I no longer want to tell the sad story. I don't want to do that. I'm not telling a sad story. We have lived past the crazy. We're telling the healing story. And eventually you don't want to be attached to that anymore. My story helped define who I was. It allowed me to develop new rules to the new me. It allowed me to do things, to have rules and regulations in place that helped set my foundation. It absolutely allowed that for me. And in some instances and places, I will tell that story. But we are focusing on the healing story. And as the only Live Past Crazy specialist, that's one of the things that I know that I have to do. I have to share the healing process. I have to share, hey, I've been the broken. And I know what it feels like to not have nobody to talk to. I understand and empathize and sympathize with all of that. So now it's my turn to show you how you take that and walk it out step by step. But you got to be willing to go on the journey. You got to be willing. How do you know it's working? You got to stop participating in it. Stop having anxiety over it. Don't let it hold on to you and stop thinking about it. You have the time. You have the resources to do the work. You do. You absolutely do. It's just reallocating the time to make it happen. And if you do not, and I want us to be very clear, and my kids hate when I say this, we're dealing with facts only, okay? If you choose, my sister or my brother, and I'm guilty of this, not to do anything about your situation, and we assume the good Lord or whoever you pray to is going to make a way out of no way, and he's going to fix it. You are willingly participating in everything that you dislike, number one. Number two, you just don't want to do anything about it. Because here's what I know. You can tell me, JoJo, I don't have the energy. God, I just don't have the energy to deal with this. Okay. The energy you don't have to deal with better is the same energy that you put in to you staying in the same situation. It's the same energy, same amount of work, same amount of frustration, same amount of fear, same amount of anxiety. And the energy field hasn't changed. You just think that getting better is harder. That's all. You don't want to. So I would rather you say, be honest with yourself. You know what, JoJo? Or whatever your name is. I just don't want to get better. I kind of like where I am because I'm comfortable with, I know this crazy. Y'all know the quote, I'd rather deal with the comfort of crazy than the discipline of freedom. I'm comfortable in this crazy. I know it. It knows me. So I don't want to do the work of changing. Same amount of energy, same amount of anxiety, same amount of stress, same amount of fear, same amount of thought process and work. goes into staying where you are. Same amount of that goes into moving and getting better. Same amount of energy. If you don't want to move from one destination to the other, that's because you don't want to. It's not because it's so unthinkable that you can't comprehend it. It's not so far away that you can't see it. It's not that nobody understands your journey. Boo, you just don't want to. And when you have that real conversation with yourself, I just don't want to. And my friends hear me say that all the time. Jojo, I just don't want to. Because that's the truth. I don't want to participate and I don't want to. And a lot of people will laugh it off, but I'm serious. I don't want to. I don't want to participate. So if your excuses will always be valid. So if you want to stay where you are, if you don't want to get better, and remember getting better could be whatever it looks like for you. One day at a time, one thought. Listen, my getting better look like 1 second at a time. 1 second at a time. Because y'all gotta understand, I had postpartum. I wouldn't even touch my child. I wouldn't hold her. There was no kissing. There was none of that. I cried, she cried. I barely took a bath. I barely got out of bed. Barely combed my hair. But eventually, I knew this wasn't it. I got to do something different. Because what you can't do is, for me, my abuser, he couldn't abuse me, take all my power, and then me leave him and still give him that power. Can't do both. That's just like you wanting to change your situation. When you change your situation, part of the growth part is not complaining about the growth you asked for. Not complaining about the change that you wanted. Because then what's the point? How do you know you're growing and it's working? You no longer feel the fear or the anxiety. It doesn't hold on to you. You naturally stop thinking about it. And you stop responding. And that's real. And if you choose, and if you want to say, but it's so hard. That used to be my favorite word, but it's so hard. Same amount of energy I put into complaining about it was the same amount of energy it was going to take for me to get out of it. So the sooner you realize that, the better. The day's quote: even though I was speaking, my voice was silent. That's what happens when you're stuck in crazy. Some of us rather deal with the comfort of crazy than the discipline of freedom. You're speaking, but you ain't saying no words. Have you ever looked at somebody when they talking and just like, you really don't have a thought in your head, do you? Sometimes we're that way with our own selves and our own situation. We're talking, but our voice is silent. That's why when you argue, yell, and fuss at your kids, they don't pay you no attention. Because they know all you're going to do is talk, yell, and fuss. You ain't going to actually do anything. That's how you know your voice is silent. Look at your workplace. You talking, but ain't nobody paying attention. You giving advice, but they not adhering to it. Or not even adhering to it. They're not even respecting you enough to acknowledge that you even said something. Then you have to navigate yourself to where you want to be. On this journey, how do you know it's working? You no longer feel the fear or the anxiety toward the thing. It doesn't hold on to you. You naturally stop thinking about it and you stop responding. We could probably be stress-freer. Is that a word? We could probably be less stressed. How about I rephrase it? If we stop participating in things. If we stop participating in conversations. We could really be less stressed. But because we are creatures of habit, and that's what we always do, you participate. And then you're angry and frustrated. So today, let's get a little better today. Pick something that you're not going to participate in today. Start small. I'm not fixing to participate in yelling at kids because they know don't yell and not do nothing. Take action. Tear that behind up. Do the same thing with your friends that you don't like talking to you, or they always giving you sly remarks or saying something slick. Don't participate. Be uncomfortable. Be comfortable with that uncomfortable silence when somebody done said something crazy. I don't have to respond to that. I don't have to participate. And then know that at the end of the day, we respect each other's space, value, and energy field, right? It is a privilege and an honor to be your friend. It is a privilege and an honor for them to be your friend. It's a privilege and an honor to be in my space, for me to even allow you into my energy field. That means I see you, I respect you enough to say, hey, here's a piece of my energy that you can have. And it is just for you. And they have to respect that just like you have to respect that. Now, if this is you that we talking about, then work on getting better. Because sometimes it's us that's the negative, that's bringing the chaos and the crazy. Check your ego. So today, on this absolutely wonderful Wednesday morning, this is Take Action. Take Action Thursday, Tuesday. This is Hump Day Wednesday. Wonderful working Wednesday. Let's do that work. Let's start this journey. Let's do this thing. We're starting the healing process. That's what we're doing. We are doing the healing process. You deserve it. The only person who doesn't think you deserve it is the people who are taking advantage of you. They like exactly where you are because they need you where you are so they can continue to take from you. Remember, it's a privilege to be your friend. It's a privilege to be their friend. Respond accordingly. And if they're not respecting that, it's okay to say, hey, you're not respecting my space. You're not respecting who I am and what I'm doing. And they'll probably look at you like you crazy. And sometimes you don't have to say anything at all. I've set boundaries in friendships without speaking them, because I stopped participating in them altogether. Like for me, I had to stop participating. I had to withdraw myself 1,000% and then only reintroduce myself into the relationship after I had set boundaries for myself. You need to hold yourself responsible for the boundaries that you set for other people. You're not even holding yourself responsible for your own boundaries. Oh, I'm not going to be her friend, then she come and you her friend. Oh, I'm not fixing to talk to him, but then he come and you talk to him. So you have a different standard for everybody else, but you don't hold yourself to that same standard. And once I started doing that, the relationships started to change. Because I started to respect my space, my energy, what I was capable and willing to give. And then they started to respect it. Then it became a mutual friendship or relationship or understanding. Let's get better in 2020. Baby steps. I don't care how you take it. Baby steps. You can cartwheel it. You can jump, rope it, flip it. You can do whatever. Good morning, Cree. All right, set those boundaries. And I had to be okay with setting boundaries. And be okay that when somebody crossed that boundary, for me to understand, in order for them to respect my boundary, in order for me to respect myself and respect the growth that I've been through, in order for those two things to happen, I've got to notify the other person. I have to. Because if I don't, I'm downplaying the fact that I've changed and you're not respecting my change. I'm downplaying all of that. Good morning, Miss Joe. Because see, what we're not fixing to do is go backwards. We're not telling a sad story. We're just not. We have been broken and we have healed. And this is how we're going to heal it out. And that's my job, to show you how to heal it out, work it out. And in that, there were boundaries set. And then when somebody crossed that boundary, I've got to let them know this boundary was crossed. Because I respect you. And I expect you to respect me in my space. Now, if you cannot, that's okay. Listen, you don't have to respect my space. They don't have to respect your space. They have that right. You also have the right to say, oh, okay. If you don't respect my space, that's okay. And remove yourself from the situation. That's how you know you're growing. You no longer feel the fear and anxiety. It doesn't hold on to you. You naturally stop thinking about it. And then you start responding to it. And it took me a minute to get to that part because I had to put my big girl panties on because for a while I wouldn't have that conversation. Like I wasn't even talking about it at all. I wasn't telling people you hurt my feelings. I wasn't telling them, oh, you crossed over my boundaries. I wasn't, in my getting better, I wasn't at that phase where I could say that. But now I am. And I am comfortable with the uncomfortableness of the conversation. Does that make sense? Like I'm comfortable saying I don't want to participate. I'm comfortable saying you cross my boundaries. Like I respect you, so you got to respect this. And they don't have to. And I'm okay with saying you know what? That is your right. And not be angry. It's your right not to respect what I do. It's my right not to respect what you do. I can then remove myself from the situation. I don't have to participate. That's a wonderful thing. And it's a right, Creed. We're not going backwards. That's not what we fixing to do. Good old North Carolina talk. We not fixing to go. I'm not doing that. I don't care who you are. Friend, foe, husband, chick, child, whatever you want to call it. We not going backwards. If we can't go forward, I can slow down for a minute and allow you off the train. That's what I can do. That with all due respect. I can slow down and let you off the train because I don't want you to trip and fall and get hurt. I'm not stopping, and I'm damn sure not going back that way. Not happening. We only moving forward over here. We only getting better. And don't apologize for the getting of the better. And that's another story for another day. Don't apologize in the getting better. You worked your tail off to get where you are. Why would you apologize for that? Why would you backpedal to accommodate somebody else's inability to respect your boundaries? Their inability to understand your growth process. Their inability to comprehend it. So you got to stay focused at what your job is. Your job. Right, Cree, let me tell you. Ding, ding, this your stop. I'm pulling a little lever, letting the man know this is your stop. Period. I'm not going to allow you to negate the growth that I have done. Because as my sister's keeper, as the only Live Past Crazy specialist, I got to keep going. And while I'm going, I've got to make sure that I have left things in a certain order so that when the next sister comes behind me, she is prepared. She has everything that she needs to get to her destination. That's my responsibility. And if I don't take my responsibility seriously, then hell, I'm creating chaos. I'm setting my sister up for failure on purpose. And why would I do that? So respect the right that they don't have to respect your boundaries. Don't get angry about it. Don't let your ego get in the way. Respect that they don't want to be a part of it. And then you respectfully ask them to exit. I have lost some, y'all. I've lost some friends. And this journey has been 15 years coming. I've lost some friends. I lost some friends that I cried about. Like, Lord Jesus, don't take them out of my life. I want them to be my best friend. Cried. And then myself said to myself, girl, if you don't shut up and keep working, you're going to keep apologizing for doing better. You're going to keep apologizing because you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. Jojo, you really going to sit here and apologize because now you ain't got to work, because you ain't got to tell the same story. Oh, woe is me. I'm a single mom. I ain't going to make it. You going to apologize for the work that you did while they was asleep. You was up in the mornings. While they was watching TV, you was doing the work. You going to apologize for all the work you put in. That don't even sound right. And then I got mad at myself. I was like, self, you right. Let me be about my business. Let me set up these boundaries. And that's why you're getting better. And as you're getting better, you set your foundation the way you want it. You set your boundaries the way you want it. And you set the rules how you want it. And then you respect that they don't have to respect it. They don't have to. It doesn't make them any less. It doesn't make you any more. It just simply means, bro, I'm going a different, you going eastbound, I'm going westbound. North, south. This our junction. Right, Craig, honey? Self, you right. Come on, self. Come on, JoJo. Louise, because my name is Yamitra Louise. Louise, get it together. Yamitra, sit down. Because JoJo is gangster. JoJo will tell you something. She'll sit Yamitra and Louise down and have a conversation with them. And be like, you from the country? And what we not fixing to do. Like, you can rewire a house and put on a roof and climb trees. You can wash clothes on your hand. Hang them out to dry on the clothes. You can dry fruit on the roof. And you fixing to tell me you going to let some folk negate the hard work that you done? JoJo. So self says, self, you're right. So y'all, I'm not the only one that talk to myself. Y'all know y'all do that. When you get ready to do something stupid, you be like, nah, JoJo, you know what? You need to stop this right here. When you about to go on that date with that man, you know you ain't got no business. Like, we really gonna do this? Yep. Self, sit down. I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one that talk to myself about that. And that's okay. We're getting better. That's the whole point of this journey. So I invite you on this wonderful journey. You have arrived exactly when you were supposed to. This is the perfect time for you to be here. And this is a perfect time for you to be on your journey, boo. It's a perfect time to get better today. Just one little step at a time, okay? That's all it's going to take. You thinking for just a second that it's going to get better. And how you know it's working? After a while, it's no longer going to give you the anxiety and the fear. It doesn't hold on to you. You naturally stop thinking about it and you stop responding to it. Period. So, welcome to your journey. I'm excited that you're here. I hope I can be of some help on this healing process. Right. What, Cree? You better tell it. I'm gonna sit down after we got on this. This the last time. Okay, Louise, this the last time. No, JoJo, this the... Honey, out here acting a whole fool because Yamitra nor Louise was listening to JoJo. They overrode her. It's like, this the last time, girl. Let's go have fun. I done got myself into some situations, honey. Thank God. When he said he protect the young, the old, and the fool. I think at some point I've been all the above. So today, guys, welcome to your journey. A whole fool. Do you understand? Probably wrote a book. Thank God there was no internet like it is today. That's okay, because we getting better. We getting better. That's all that matters. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Please don't forget the Be Fearless Jewelry, KK Creations, bit.ly/KK Creations. Get you some Be Fearless Jewelry. If you want to join the book club, Sisters Keepers Book Club. That is bit.ly in front of that. So you can join me. And Cree, I'm trying not to laugh because I heard you in my head say that whole fool thing. Because I was a whole fool, honey. And that's what we doing over here. We getting our whole fool self together because it's going to be a wonderful journey. So I invite you on your journey to getting better. The quote of the day: even though I was speaking, my voice was silent. That is my personal quote. So if you use it, please tag my name on it. Even though I was speaking, my voice was silent. That's why folks don't pay you no attention when you talking. Your voice has no power. You want to know why? Because you living in crazy. Strengthen your voice by speaking your truth. February 28, 2018. Strengthen your voice by speaking your truth. And on this journey, the more you speak your truth, the stronger your voice becomes. And it will no longer be silent. Period. And we're not telling sad stories over here. We're talking about the healing stories and how we're going to carry this here journey out. So welcome to the journey of healing. I'm excited for you. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing Wednesday. Please be safe. And I will see you here. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. And I will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.
Thank you again for listening to the Live Past Crazy Show with Yamitra JoJo. She is the only Live Past Crazy specialist, and she is glad you spent your time with her. If you would like to know more about why she knows crazy and about her journey, she invites you to check out her website, www.livepastcrazy.com, as well as follow her on social media. Jan Mitra is her tag for IG, Twitter, and Facebook. JANMETRA. She also invites you to join her on the Fearless Morning Show, weekdays at 7:15 a.m. on Facebook Live. Again, you can find us on Facebook with the Fearless Morning Show page or by name. Remember, as a result of working with the only Live Past Crazy specialists, individuals are able to identify the crazy in their lives and develop a specific blueprint to begin to live past crazy. Do you know anybody who needs to live past crazy? Then send them over her way, because there is life after crazy. Be peaceful, period. And Jan Mitra will see you guys on the next show.